Okay, let's have a look at the answers to these puzzles. First, let's tackle the easy one. So it's white to play and mate in one move. Let's start by looking at the black king. Well, it's blocked by its own pawns. It's stuck on the 8th rank. If we can give check along the 8th rank, then the king won't be able to move. Can you see how white can do this? How about with the queen? Almost, but black can block the check with either the queen, rook or bishop, so that's not checkmate. How about with the rook? This is checkmate because the black pieces can't block the check. Okay, this is the medium puzzle. It's white to play and give checkmate in 2 moves. There aren't many pieces on the board, so maybe you can work this one out quite quickly. The obvious move is to promote the pawn. But if we carelessly promote the pawn into a queen, then what can black do? The white queen attacks these squares, and the white king attacks this square. So black can't move, and it isn't check. It's stalemate, and the game is a draw, so promoting the pawn into a queen is a big mistake. Let's go back and try again. Remember, if you promote a pawn, you don't have to promote it into a queen. It doesn't happen very often, but sometimes it is best to promote your pawn into another piece, a knight, bishop or rook. Which is best in this position? Well, you can't give checkmate with just a knight or bishop, so let's try promoting the pawn into a rook. Let's check for stalemate again. The white rook attacks these squares, and the white king attacks these squares, so there's one square left for the black king to move to. Can you see the checkmate move? Time to tackle the hard puzzle. Black to play and mate in 3. The weak point in white's position appears to be f1. But the black bishop on f5 is in the way. Perhaps we can move it somewhere else. But if we don't give check, then white will probably castle, or play queen takes queen, and white's position will be much safer. So black has to act now, so let's look for checks. The only black piece that can give check is the queen on c4, and it can give check on e4, h4, e2, and f1. If black checks on e4, then white can block with the queen, and this doesn't seem to help. Okay, what about h4? Well, white just blocks with the queen again, so this doesn't work either. Let's try e2. This looks hopeless too. The white knight can just take it. So we are left with a crazy idea of moving our queen to f1. White has to take the queen to get out of check. There are no other options. So how does that help? We've given up our queen, and what have we gained? Did you notice that the white king is now on the same file as the black rook? If the bishop on f5 moves, it will be discovered check. Great! Let's find the best place to move it. What is the most powerful kind of discovered check? Double check. And there's only one way out of double check. You can't block both checks. You can't take both pieces. You have to move the king. In this position, white has to move the king back to e1. And now black can give checkmate. The arrows should help you find it.